Hello again, Summoners. Last video I promised an in-depth guide to acquiring the game knowledge needed in critical thinking for climbing bronze. And unlike how M. Night will be looking to make his Last Airbender 2, I will actually be attempting to deliver the goods. Sorry, cheap shot. Couldn't help it. Anyway, here's a quick recap. The three areas of game knowledge needed to go even further beyond your current level are Team Champion Knowledge, Opponent Champion Knowledge, and Situational Knowledge. The first thing to look at is Team Champion Knowledge. You need to have at least basic knowledge of every champ on your team. Now, basic knowledge can be defined in different ways, but this is what I have found to be the minimum required knowledge. Champion abilities. The bare minimum you should know are your teammates' abilities, what they look like when activated, and how they react with the environment. You should also know the strengths and weaknesses of your team's champions. For your lane and your champion, you have to know all of this. You have to know roughly how much damage you do and can take, and you have to know what the opponent could pick against you. You also have to know how to adjust if something you have a hard time against is picked. For enemy team knowledge, it's pretty much the same thing. I will say though that there is not as much emphasis on knowing the whole team's strengths and weaknesses, just your own roles. Lastly is situational knowledge, and it's by far the biggest kicker for any low elo player. For those that don't know, situational knowledge is having the knowledge to see that in the current situation, you are at an advantage, you are at a disadvantage, you can set up for an advantage, and so on. It's not quite the same as situational awareness, as you are using your awareness of the situation to gather the knowledge you have. Now that we know what to look for, let's break out the scenarios. In top lane, 7 minions gets us level 2. Does it look like we have the faster, stronger auto attacks and ability for a faster push? Or does our opponent? We have 3 minions, they have 1. Look to trade here in hopes of coming out ahead before the level 2. As you can see, we use our champion knowledge to determine who has the best chance of pushing to level 2 first. Then we use our situational knowledge to see if we have a minion advantage over our opponent and can look to trade. For the jungle mains out there, we look at the strengths of our jungler, whether it be farming or ganking. We look at the possibility of invading at the start or getting invaded ourselves. We look at the possibility of going to the enemy buff after doing a small camp or having the same done to us. We know that our jungler is weak to being invaded after the first camp. We either start at the buff itself or save our smite for it. And ward at the river entrance. That's a big one. Now, that covers what you need and a little of what it all looks like. But how does one gain such knowledge? Well, there actually aren't a large number of ways at this point in time to rapidly grow, sad to say. The fastest ways are all on the internet. The League wiki page is hands down the most valuable source of information on all things champion. The pages within that website are full of every ounce of data relating to every champ in the game, as well as a few other things. Another great source are the YouTubers and streamers who do in-depth gameplay commentaries. Other than that, playing the game itself, while not the fastest, is the most solid way to gain this knowledge, since you'll be getting everything you need firsthand. If you have any friends willing to help, I recommend loading into a custom game to start off with. Alright everyone, as always, I can't express enough thanks for watching my videos. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below, and until next time, I hope you go out and have a good game. Well played.